You can find exact values of reciprocal functions by first thinking of secant as 1 over cosine theta. So secant goes with cosine of theta. So actually what you're doing is you're finding 1 over the cosine of pi over 4. Or you're finding the reciprocal of cosine of pi over 4. So remember, the reciprocal of a over b is b over a. So cosine of pi over 4 is the same thing as doing the cosine of 45 degrees. So if the cosine of 45 degrees is root 2 over 2, then the reciprocal of root 2 over 2 is 2 over root 2. Kind of not going in order here, but if I rationalize it, I multiply the top and the bottom by root 2. So this is going to be 2 root 2 over 2, which is just going to be root 2. So to check this on your calculator, what you could do, even though this would be a no calculator part, you could actually do 1 over the cosine of 45 degrees. Make sure you're in degree mode and compare it to root 2. So those should be the same decimal. So 1 over the cosine of 45 should be the same thing as the square root of 2. So now I'm going to look at cotangent of pi over 2. So this is the same thing as doing 1 over the tangent of pi over 2. So let's do the tangent of pi over 2. So pi over 2 is 90 degrees. So let's look at what the tangent of 90 is. So remember, tangent is y divided by x. So if you have 0, 1, the tangent of 90 is going to be 1 over 0. So the cotangent of 90, or pi over 2, is going to be 0 over 1. So the cotangent of pi over 2 is going to be 0. Now, if you check this on your calculator, so if you do 1 over the tangent of 90, you're going to get an error because your calculator will see that tangent of 90 is undefined, because 1 divided by 0 is undefined, so it won't calculate 1 divided by undefined. But you have to know to be able to flip it over. So it's actually 0. Okay, let's do the cosecant of negative 3 pi over 4. So cosecant matches up with 1 over the sine of negative 3 pi over 4. Okay, so I need to do the sine. This is the sine of negative 135. So on the unit circle, negative 135 is going to be right here. It's going to create a 45 degree angle. So the sine is negative root 2 over 2. So if I flip it over, it's going to be 2 over negative root 2. But then you have to rationalize it. So this is going to end up being root 2 again, but it's going to be a negative. So again, to check it on your calculator, you could do 1 over the sine of negative 135 degrees, and you'll get the same decimal as negative square root of 2. Okay, cotangent of 5 pi over 6. So what you're really going to do is you're going to do the tangent of 5 pi over 6 and then find the reciprocal. So 5 pi over 6 is the same thing as 150 degrees. So let's look at 150 degrees on the unit circle. This is going to create a 30 degree angle. So we know that the tangent of 30 is root 3 over 3. In this case, this is going to be, in these two quadrants, tangent is positive. In these two quadrants, tangent is negative. So this is going to be negative 3 over root 3. And then we want to rationalize it. So it's negative 3 root 3 over 3. So that's going to be negative root 3. And then again, you can put this in your calculator, and then you should get that same decimal. These two decimals should be the same.